Hey guys, hope you're doing good. So I wanted to take the time that I'm in Mexico to actually answer one of the biggest questions that I get a lot from friends, from family, from strangers, and it is the fact that most people don't really know what exactly that I do, right? So in this video, I want to explain to you guys what exactly I do in the most simplistic way possible. Okay, but before we do so, let's give you guys a tour of where we're staying at. So come in. All right, so every single day I get someone on Instagram sending me a message like, hey Serge, I'm interested in what you're doing. What exactly is it? Because I'd love to start an online business, right? But the issue with my kind of business is that we're not actually a business that serves people who are starting out, okay? So the goal with this video is to at least give someone who's starting from zero, who's interested in starting an online service business, to know the path to take, okay? Because our service costs a lot of money, so for anyone who's starting out, it probably won't make sense for you to come and buy our service, right? But in this video, I'd like to talk about my story, because the story is really important, like the evolution of how I've came to arrive at the place where I'm at right now. I'm going to be describing what exactly do we do, okay, in the most simplistic way, like I've said. And I'm also going to talk about what I've learned from scaling from $0 a month up to last month we made $140,000 in a single month, okay, which is pretty insane. So yeah, let's get started. So where does the story begin? Okay, I was born in Rwanda, lived there till I was 13, and then I moved to Canada, right? Right now we're in Mexico, Tulum, but I live in Montreal, Canada. And, I followed the normal path that everyone takes. I went to high school, went to college, okay? But when I was in college, I felt like I lacked purpose. And I got to a point where I felt like, there was something more about life than just going to school and then getting a job and then, saving up some money in order to drive nice cars after like 10 years, right? So in college, I ended up dropping out after my third semester because I realized that, school wasn't really going to lead me anywhere. And I didn't really have a goal. I didn't have a purpose in school. So I thought that the best thing that I could do was to actually quit and then, go actually in the marketplace and actually learn valuable skill set, right? I ended up dropping out of school, got a bunch of 9-to-5s, but some of the best skills, I learned them from selling, right? I got a multiple jobs selling door to door, okay? During winter in Canada, it gets pretty fucking cold. So if you're someone who's ever done cold door to door, then I promise you that you can probably do anything, okay? And then I ended up quitting this door to door jobs opportunities because it was taking a toll on me. So after getting a bunch of sales jobs doing door to door, I ended up transitioning from sales jobs to more of like a regular 9-to-5s. Okay, I ended up getting a 9-to-5 for like 2 years. And while I was there, I used to to use all the money I was making. I never used to save money. Not that I was, spending it on stupid stuff. I was actually spending it on buying courses. Okay. The first business that I've ever, or the first business course that I've ever bought was, I think it was Amazon FBA by a guy called Dan Vass. I think he's from Canada too. I ended up trying out, went through the whole thing. It was an amazing, learning, but I ended up realizing that they didn't have a lot of capital to be able to buy inventory and be able to sell on Amazon, right? So now the next issue was that how can I find a business model where I can start without a big, capital to invest in the business, right? That doesn't require a lot of startup capital, right? I ended up transitioning to, drop shipping, okay? But then the issue with that too is that I wasn't really an amazing marketer back then. I didn't really know how to navigate Facebook and create amazing ads. I didn't understand creatives. I didn't understand much of anything, right? So although I did get some sales on that end, I actually did not end up making it work, right? And that's when I got into this online service space, okay? I went through a course, the first course that I've ever bought around building an agency was by Iman, okay? I bought it in 2019, but the issue with that was that as much as these courses are amazing and the course was pretty great, I think he put in a lot of effort to try to build it, okay? If you ever look at any of my materials, I'm not really fancy. I just give you the thing that you need and keep it at that. But he built an amazing course, and then, but the issue was around implementation. The issue when it comes, the main obstacle that keeps people from winning is not the fact that they're missing knowledge. It's just because they're not implementing stuff, okay? So I ended up not really being consistent with the implementation, so it took me 9 months before I could actually get a customer, okay? But before I did that, I actually ended up quitting my job, my 9-to-5 in July, beginning of July 2020, so exactly like, a year and a half ago, right? And I went all in with my agency, okay? But I ended up having issues with booking meetings, so what I did was I had to learn from other people who were experts at appointment setting and doing outbound prospecting. So learned from a guy called Nick Cosman. Okay, you guys probably know him. And he had an amazing information, strategies, and frameworks around how to get people on meetings. I did that. Ended up becoming really good with outbound prospecting. So what I ended up doing is I actually switched from an advertising agency to an appointment setting agency. Why? Because if you really look at the fundamentals of any successful business, the best businesses are built off of a solution that the founder has built for himself, and that now he's actually scaling the solution and selling it to multiple people. So I decided that, hey, instead of me selling something that I learned from a course, why don't I actually sell the skill set that I've built, right? And that's when I ended up deciding to start an appointment setting agency, okay? That was my first real business. In 4 months, I scaled it to $30,000 per month, which was pretty crazy to me. And it was great. I was serving agency owners. We've had over, in the first 4 months, I think we had over 80 customers, which was pretty insane, okay? And I was running it myself with like 10 virtual assistants, okay? It was becoming a lot of work, okay? And then, but before I actually go over like what came after, I want to go over this thing that I just mentioned, okay? The way that you build a business, a really good business, is by solving a pain that you're currently experiencing. And if you're watching this and you're running a business, okay, I promise you, there is something that you've been able to solve for yourself that someone else would be willing to pay hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to access, okay? So for me, if I was in your shoes and I'm like, hey, how do I get to my first $20K a month, $50K a month, $100K a month, or even $500,000 a month, or even $1 million, or even 10 million, is how can you sell at scale the thing that you've been able to solve for yourself, okay? So ended up doing that, okay? But then along the lines of me building my first kind of like successful business, I ended up learning a lot more stuff, right? And then I realized that a lot of my customers did not have the things that I knew, okay? They lacked the infrastructure, they lacked the insights about things like offers, about acquisition, about scaling a growth team and things like that. So I ended up telling myself like, hey, you know what? I can't do this appointment setting thing alone. I need to actually solve other issues within their business. So I ended up transitioning to a consulting business, okay, to a consulting model, right? But it's not really the traditional consulting model where I have to like get on one-on-one with each person. I'm more of a leveraged consultant, right? And it's not really a leveraged consultant like everybody else does it. A lot of people are building like courses and then just putting 2 calls a week and calling that like a program, right? But for us, what we do is we're actually focused on building an infrastructure for our customers, okay? So an example of how we help people is like, let's take an agency owner who comes to us. And by the way, I'm reading here because I had to take notes to help me structure this video. But imagine someone who's running an agency and doing 20K a month, okay? And their goal is how can they actually scale it to 100K per month, okay? Well, then they would come to us. The first thing that we would give them is a roadmap on how to get to 6 figures per month, okay? But we don't stop there. Our goal is not to give you information, like I said, is not really enough to help you scale. What we've figured out is that if we actually not only just give people the right insights, but actually build the infrastructure that makes it unreasonable for them not to hit 100K a month, then we're actually going to be the best service provider around acquisition for any niche that we target, okay? So that's how I ended up coming up with clientacquisition.io. It's a business that helps anyone who's running an online service business, agencies, coaches, and consultants build infrastructures and offers that make it unreasonable for them not to add an extra $50,000 to 100K per month, okay? And it's that simple. So we don't sell courses. We don't do anything else besides help you know what you need to know, give you the right offer, and build an infrastructure, okay? And by infrastructure, I mean pick the right channel, pick the right acquisition channel or channels to actually find your leads that you need to be talking to and sell your service, and then hire and train outbound appointment setters who are actually like killers when it comes to booking new meetings, okay? Once you have that, then you need to be amazing at building video sales letters or content, okay, that sells people at scale without you having to repeatedly always be talking to people to try to sell them, okay? And then after that, we'll show you how to build an audience for yourself, because the main reason why all guys like Alex Hormozy, Iman, Taylor Welch, or Nick Hosmer, or even Sam Ovens are making millions a month, while you and me are struggling to scale past 6 figures per month, is because they have an audience. Okay, they might tell you to run ads, they might tell you to do 100 emails a day or 100 DMs a day, but the truth is, if you never have an audience, if you never get to build an audience, you're never going to be able to scale effortlessly. So this is the last step that we help our customers build, okay? So, I think that's about it. So what have I learned from building a $1 million business in the last year and a half is that, and this is probably the most important thing, is that anyone can do it and everyone should be doing it. Okay, because life isn't life unless you're living, okay? But like they say, in order to live, you need financial freedom, okay? If you don't have capital to be able to do what you want whenever you want it, to get the nice cars that you want to be driving, to fly someone, wherever you want, okay? Then you're not really living, okay? And the fact is, there's a set of steps already laid out for you to win. All you have to do is seek the path, okay? It's not complicated to build I know a lot of people complicate it so much. They're like, oh yeah, I've built an 8-figure business. Oh, I'm better than you. But it's not true. They just followed a set of steps that was laid out by someone who had done it before them, right? So if I've built a 7-figure business, you can too, right? But the thing, and I think Naval said it, is that he didn't say it along the thing that I'm talking about right now, but he said that the thing that's missing is not information, but the will to actually seek that information. I'm rephrasing what he said, but he said something along those lines. The issue with most people is that they don't have access to the right thing. It's just because they don't actually want it bad enough to be able to chase it. So the second thing that I've learned, and that's also pretty important, is that while most people are looking for hacks, new strategies, they're chasing new shiny objects, right? The truth is that beside the thing that you're selling to the market, which is your offer, everything else is all about an infrastructure, okay? What do I mean by this? And this is something that I've realized recently, okay? Last month, we went from averaging around, maybe 50 to 70K a month to doubling that in revenue, right? And the reason why we saw such a, we literally doubled our revenue in, month over month is because I realized that I already have the right offer. Why can't I do 5 times of what I'm already doing, right? And I asked myself, what am I missing? And I end up realizing that the only thing I'm missing is the infrastructure, right? I already have the right offer. So if you're someone who has been able to sell and maybe you're already making 10K, 20K, 30K, 50K per month, or even 100K per month, what are you waiting for to 10X your growth, to 10X your revenue? You can do it. All you're looking for is just the infrastructure that can sustain the scale and generate you the enough attention, okay? So a simple example of what I mean by infrastructure is that before I had 1 or 2 appointment sitters, one who was really good and performing, right, and doing, generating 80% of all our attention. I was like, why don't I get 5 of them, all right? That's literally it. There is no secret, right? The hardest part is figuring out the right offer. But like I've said, the best way to find your offer is pick a solution that you've already built for yourself, sell it at scale, okay? So that's the second thing, okay? And which is why in the Half Familiar program that I've built, we focus on improving our client's offers, okay? And then the second thing that we do is we build an infrastructure that produces the revenue and the lifestyle that they want, okay? So you come in as a customer and then you're like, hey man, I want to be making 50K per month, or I want to be making over 6 figures per month. I'll be like, okay, cool, perfect. Well, these are the number of outreach that you need to do. I don't want you doing less than 250 outreaches a day, okay? I don't want you to have less than 5 pieces of content every single week, okay? I want you to become a YouTuber, okay? I know you don't want to be putting your face in front of people, but trust me, there is a competitive edge that you get by being able to put yourself in front of a camera, okay? And so that's essentially what we do, okay? We focus on the 2 most important things. The thing that you're selling to the market, a lot of people are broke because they think that they haven't figured out the right script, the right email template, or the right Instagram outreach message. The truth is you're selling something that the market doesn't want. If you don't solve it, you're gonna be broke for a long time, okay? So the third thing that I think is pretty important to understand, okay, is that it's pretty easy if you're willing to sacrifice a year of focus, okay? Many business owners will try to scare you and tell you that entrepreneurship is hard, and it's true that it's hard. But trust me, being broke and not being able to grow your business is way harder than actually being able to grow it, okay? To get to where I'm at right now, it only took a year of actual implementation, right? I haven't been doing this for 10 years. I haven't been doing this for 5 years. It's just been, I quit my job in 2020. Today we're March 2022, right? So in 2021, that's where I really got to push. And the thing that we're selling right now, we only started it 8 months ago. So we took a business from $0 a month over 140K a month in 8 months. And all it took was knowing the thing to do, having the right offer, and building an infrastructure, okay? And the other thing that I think you should be aware of is that it's easier to make 100K per month than to make $10 or even $20,000 a month, okay? Why? Because in order to hit 6 figures per month or more, you actually need to remove yourself from your business, right? But if your aim is to get to 10K or 20K per month, well, guess what? Everything is relying on your shoulders. Everything relies on you to actually move and happen, right? But for me, I'm in Tulum right now, and business is still moving, right? In the last 5 days, I think we've generated multiple 5 figures, but I didn't do any sales call. I didn't book anyone on a meeting. I did not create, I did create one piece of content, but it had nothing to do about around selling, right? I just did it because I wanted to. But I could be here not doing anything and business will still be rolling, okay? So, but if I was making 10K a month and I went on a trip for 10 days, then it's probably, there's a high chance that next month I won't be able to make 10K a month because I have not done the actions that creates the 10K a month, right? And I can't really hire someone else because I'm broke, right? So that's that. And the last thing that I recommend that you understand is that get a lot of capital fast, okay? Once you have it, this game becomes more fun since all you have to do is to allocate the capital to the best solutions. And in order to do that, you need to be great at decision making, right? If you want to learn more about how to make great decisions and how to be able to actually scale faster than most people, I've made a 2-hour video going over how to become an amazing thinker, an amazing decision maker, and you can actually, I think it's, I posted it like last week. It's around how to become a millionaire or a billionaire by just improving, by just changing who you are. I think that's what it was. But yeah, guys, that's all I want. I hope this video wasn't too long, but that's all I wanted to cover. Essentially what I do every day. I think I didn't really make it clear, but maybe we can cut it after this. But essentially what we do is really simple. We help someone who's on a journey, okay? Their journey might be to build a $500,000 business a year. It could be to build $1 million business, okay? And let's use a jungle as an analogy, okay? Let's say that between you and the business that or the revenue that you want to be making every single year, there is a jungle, okay? All that our company does is that we've already built the right path to getting you to that destination in the most efficient and fastest way possible, okay? Now, what happens with most people is that they'd rather travel through that jungle by themselves, right? They might get ate by a bear. They might get bitten by snakes, okay? They might try to, a lot of mosquitoes, right? In the jungle, right? Most people would rather get, ate by a bear, fight with a bear maybe, right? Bitten by snakes, bitten by mosquitoes, right? But what we offer at clientacquisition.io is that we just tell you where the bears are, where the snakes are, where the mosquitoes, how to avoid them, okay? And we actually have built out a roadmap on how to get to the end of the jungle to your maybe 50K a month business, 100K a month business, $500,000 a year business, right? No, $500,000 a month. That's what I meant to say. That's essentially what we do, right? So we just help people get to where they want to go much faster. So if you're ever interested in, avoiding bears, snakes, and mosquitoes, please, you can find the link below. You can book a call with my top advisor. He'll show you how we go about scaling anyone doing 25K a month or less, and how we get to add an extra 50K to their monthly revenue by just improving their offer. If you don't have the right offer, guys, I promise you need us, okay? And then the second thing that we do is we build the right infrastructure for you that can make it unreasonable for you not to have everything that you've ever dreamed of. So that's pretty much it. It's been 23 minutes, so hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.